What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm talking about this shit. So, you know what I don't get? So like, why is it that like a group of people, or it just seems like everyone in life, they all experience some type of trauma, some type of pain, or some type of shit that kind of like changes them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just yeah, well, it is a bad thing where like people are experiencing painful situations, people get screwed over, people get tricked, people get manipulated. So it's just weird. This is why like me, like how I view this human experience. I view this human experience as pretty much full of shit. So like it's hard for me to take it personal because like especially the older I'm getting, obviously I take my life serious so I could complete the things I want to get done. But like overall, like from a spiritual perspective, I don't take life personally because one, we're all slaves, so like we're being controlled by money. We're not really free, and without money, you can't do anything. You can't buy a car. You can't travel. You can't eat food. You can't drink water. You can't do any of that. You can't have good hygiene. You can't have your own place to stay without money. So that in itself is the reason why I don't take life personal, because we're being controlled by a fucking piece of paper, and we're all fucking slaves to a bullshit ass system, right? But we got to play along the game. That's it's part of this life experience, part of this human experience. Is why I don't take it personal. Also, um, what I've noticed too is like a lot of people like experience traumatic situations. A lot of people experience abuse. A lot of people experience like just horrible shit. And at one point, as I'm observing all this shit, it makes me think like, yeah, I really shouldn't take this life seriously because, I mean, personally, because if everyone is going through trauma and pain and abuse, and I'm going through trauma, pain, and abuse, so we're all going through the same shit but different ways. Technically, life is full of shit because why is it that like we all got to experience certain shit? I really can't put it into the right words. So it's like me living life, right? It's like I'm obligated to experience and to feel certain type of shit that I don't want to experience, but I'm forced to experience it through soul contracts, through karma, through the nature of this human experience. So it is why I don't take life as personally. I view life as full of shit, pretty much. This is why, like, I look back on all the abuse and traumatic situations. I had no control. You know what I'm saying? I'm not justifying why I do things I do, but I have no control. For example, me growing up, even to this day, I struggle with boundaries. I struggle with standing up for myself and saying no to people, right? I struggle with people pleasing. All that is due to codependency and growing up always lacked love, right? And I'm use that example. The reason why I'm experiencing those things is because one, I came from very retarded, dysfunctional family, right? So they never gave me the proper nurturing. They never gave me the proper love, right? I had an absent father. He was present, but he was, and my parents were divorced, but like he's there. Like we'll text here and there, but he for the most part he's always absent. I actually cut him off because I just realized he's pretty much useless. But like ever since my parents divorced when I was like 14, he would never like I don't know. I never felt close to my father like that. Like I never felt close to him, and we never hung out like that. Only probably like, a couple of times, but I don't really hang out with each other like that. He's cool. He's a cool guy, but like I don't view him as a father because he never taught me anything father related. He never taught me valuable skills. He never took time out of his day to teach me shit. He's a lazy piece of shit pretty much. So I don't so I never had the guidance from parents pretty much. My siblings they'll always try and find excuses or reasons to fight me verbally, physically. They'll lie to me. They'll gang up on me. Um, they're known as a flying monkeys. So like, if you're not familiar with that term, it's like, if you're like if we're raised in a narcissistic household, then the flying monkeys are people like your siblings or other family members who gang up and who join forces with the narcissist, which is like the parents, and 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 they'll get tell them lies. They could tell them anything that's and they have no facts, but they'll still join that narcissistic parent because they fear of abandonment and codependency, and that's the only source where they get their love from, and they gotta do whatever that narcissistic parent gotta say, and then they'll gang up on the black sheep or the scapegoat of the family, which is me, which I had to experience, right? And a lot of households experience this shit. So growing up, I never had like, and we weren't fighting all the time. Like they're cool. We had some good moments, but for the most part, I had to cut them off. Fuck them. They were doing just too much, so it was getting unhealthy. So I had to cut them off. A lot of abuse, a lot of violence. I had a stepfather. He sucker punched me. Like he'll throw a lot of jabs and shots at me. Like he'll fucking like try to verbally attack me. I'm not sure if it's through envy or jealousy, but he's weird. Like he's the type of person where like he'll say some foul shit at the most like unnecessary times. You know what I'm saying? It's not funny either. Like he'll do this shit like it's just weird. Um, but yeah, so that's what happens to come from a dysfunctional family. Man. I don't get started with my mother, man. Like she's the type of person where like I mean, don't get me wrong, she did her best to take care of me, but like emotionally, mentally, she's not right. She's very mentally ill. Like she'll lie on me, like she'll gang up on me and shit. Like she's not a healthy person. So and she's been through a lot of trauma as well. And my siblings are all fucked up in the head. So but yeah, so imagine coming from that background, right? And then also growing up, I don't want to get into detail, but like I've experienced one-on-one connections to where like even at a young age since I was like 6 all the way up to now I'm 25 turning 26 now, but like I've always experienced like just one-on-one connections with narcissistic people who would try to do shit to me covertly. I feel like that's the worst type of narcissism. Covert narcissism is where like they're not doing it abruptly. Where covert narcissism is when you and only that person knows what they're doing. No one else knows. So I've dealt with a lot of covert narcissism, right, growing up. So just the fact that I was put into these situations, it seemed like I had no free will. It seemed like it was against my will. It seemed like I was experiencing. It just seemed like it was destined. The more I study spirituality, and the more I look back at things, because it just seems like all those experiences I've dealt with people, it just seems like it couldn't be a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always experienced one-on-one covert narcissism over and over and over again. Where like, where those show the true colors, and I don't know what the fuck is going on until like the last minute. So, it's how it is. You know what I'm saying? So, there are a lot of experiences, but I don't want to say it because it's just too personal. But yeah, but so this is why I don't take life personally. Like even though life does piss me off, I get pissed. I still have shit I need to heal from, like a lot of shit. I'm like this traumatic shit, but I don't take life serious. I don't take life personally at all. I view life as a fucking as a bullshit experience to where like humans had to go through a certain amount of bullshit just so for the fuck of it, so they could grow, evolve, and learn. But at the same time, this shit sucks. So that's how I view this experience. But me, I consider myself to have like a big hearts, a big dreams, big vision, and big goals. So like I try to do the best I can to treat people with respect, to be positive, and to do the best I can, and to also showcase my talents and just do the best I can. And if I can help this world out, if I can help other people out, then hey, that's even better. Obviously, make money in this bullshit corrupt system so I could have the freedom, because money is the only way to get freedom. This bullshit ass system. So why not try to make the most of it and try to live life to my fullest? You know what I'm saying? But and to overcome obstacles and tough situations, obviously that motivates me in life as well too. And obviously dealing with like shitty people and like financial struggles, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, but life, and so like you don't have to agree with I'm agreeing, but try to reflect your life situations or like all the things that cause you the most trauma and pain, and see if there's a cycle. And if there's a cycle, then more than likely that's how you know like you shouldn't really take life personally. Take life seriously so you can overcome these situations, so you can live the life the best you can, so you can enjoy this experience. But don't take life personally, because life is bullshit. After you die, you still experience new shit. Everything's corrupt, everything's controlled. So, and it's been going on for thousands of years. Look how evil and wicked this world is. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's miserable, pretty much. So that's how you gotta look at it. Everything's pre-planned. It seems everything's destined. Especially people who struggle with trauma. People who struggle with trauma, they really have no free will, because they were born into fucked up families, and growing up, they don't have the right tools to heal themselves until the last minute. And even if they do have the tools to heal themselves, it takes a long time just to heal trauma. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like we really don't have free will. And this is where I'm getting at. I feel like all this shit deals with like soul contracts, past life karma. That's naturally this human experience where like the spirit or the soul it wants to experience just shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna go more into detail, but it is what it is. Again, and just because I could see through life, I'm not saying like, oh, I don't take life personally. Like I'm always happy. I'm always like nonchalant or detached. Nah, like this shit still pisses me off. I still feel some type of way. This shit does get annoying. This shit bothers me a lot, like a lot. You know, this is why I make YouTube videos so I could cope with that shit. But just fuck life, man. Like fuck this experience. It's not. I guess it's experience too, but more so I hate most people in this world. A lot of people are damaged. A lot of people are traumatized. A lot of people are retarded. Like it's. I'm not saying this out of like entertainment or jokingly. I really mean this shit. Like people aren't shit. Like the same reasons why this world's so fucked up and corrupt are the same reasons why people are so fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect. There are things I need to work on, but at least I'm trying to do my best. While other people, they're just, oh no, man. I'm just talking. I'm speaking my mind. I'm just releasing anger and shit from dealing with like shitty people and just, I don't know, man. It just seems like this world has a lot of narcissistic, dumbass people compared to righteous people, in my opinion. But it is what it is. I'm speaking my mind. You don't have to agree what I agree in, but yeah, but that's why I don't take life personally, and that could be a superpower. That could be a good thing too. This is why, when it comes to spirituality, and you try to study the most you can, study about astrology, and yeah, study about astrology and spirituality. Review your life experiences and come up with your own conclusion. But I forgot to mention astrology. Just the fact that we have astrology, just the fact that our emotions, our nervous system, events take place due to astrology. That in itself shows that we don't have free will. You know what I'm saying? We don't. So this is why I don't take life personally. Life is just a force. Pretty much how I view life is like a forced experience. It's a forced experience. So if we got to experience, if a human got to experience abuse, traumatic shit, being poor, being in poverty, pain and suffering, they're gonna experience that shit forcefully. But I also believe humans can experience like I guess happiness, being rich, in this fucked up system. They are gonna experience that shit. So pretty much this is how this human experience is. It's a forced experience pretty much for your soul and spirit. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, and have a good one. Peace.